everyone, today I've got your Hunger Games Catching Fire movie review. Let me just say, I am so glad that I saw this movie. I ended up seeing it twice on the same day. Let me tell you, it was crazy. I was a fan of the first movie, even though it had a couple of flaws that I definitely noticed, and I was really hoping that the second movie would obviously surpass the first on all aspects, and it definitely did. And it's really no surprise. It was absolutely amazing. From the acting to the action to all the special effects, I was really impressed by this movie. And obviously I gotta love Jennifer Lawrence's Katniss Everdeen. She was just truly awesome in her role, and I honestly couldn't picture anybody else to play her, because I think she really portrays a strong female character, which I do like to see on screen, because you don't see that a lot, which is really surprising. This movie was top-notch, I think. It's no surprise that it was doing really well at the box office. I really liked how this movie went in a completely different direction. Now, seeing this movie, obviously, I didn't read any of the books. I just don't like having to feel like I need to compare the source material to a movie, because they're obviously both they're two different mediums, and I really love the just how much more intense this movie was and how much more violent it seemed, even especially from the first movie, because the overall concept, I mean, you gotta admit, killing people just for sport is like really crazy, and just trying to be the two people in each district, in one district, to come out on top. I mean, that's really crazy. Obviously, it's getting more intense for Katniss Everdeen, because her and Josh Hutcherson obviously won the first round in like the first game that they had from the first movie, and basically she is considered a huge threat to a lot of people, and it kind of comes down to her trying to stay up on top and sort of being this like beacon of hope for these people who basically are like being tortured and getting sentenced to death, and like being homeless and having things taken away from them. And it's really, really crazy, and it almost makes you feel really sympathetic for these characters and what's happening, because really when you're playing these games, you can't, like, that's all you have to think about. You always have to think about winning and, doing all these things. So it gets really, really dark and crazy, and even more thrilling as the movie goes on. And obviously, there wasn't any crazy shaky cam in this movie whatsoever. I was really happy about that. And I was really surprised at the diversity of all the different contestants in each of the districts for the next Hunger Games. And you had people like Jeffrey Wright was in this movie. And the guy who played Finnick, he wasn't, I thought I couldn't trust that kid, but hey, you never know. Hot guys are always up to no good for some reason. Liam Hemsworth is in this movie again, and, you didn't really get to see much of him, but you definitely felt for this guy, like what he was going through, what was happening to him, like that one scene. It almost was, like, painful to watch. It was really crazy. Obviously, it seemed like the situations in the Hunger Games, it seemed, as far as I can remember from the first movie, now it's been a while since I've seen the first movie, so I feel like definitely this time around, the little scenarios that were being played out in like the environments, like they were really, really crazy and much worse than I remembered. So, I don't know if it was like that in the book, but it was just crazy overall. Obviously, the whole spectacle of the entire movie, the visuals were really impressive. I loved Elizabeth Banks as Effie Trinket. Her costumes, I think, were just the best. I just loved her. I thought she was really funny. And Woody Harrelson and Stanley Tucci, wow. It was almost like a riot to watch, but it was like just absolutely, positively insane. I would say that, I was definitely engaged throughout the entire movie. This was like over 2 hours of like action, and you know, Katniss using her bow and arrow, shooting down people. She was really awesome. And having everybody sort of like take her side, even though there was like a couple of people who like still probably wanted to kill her just because of the game. Donald Sutherland and Philip Seymour Hoffman make the perfect evil dynamic duo. You're sort of like being put on edge of your seat because of these two guys sort of conjuring up some kind of plot to destroy Katniss and all that stuff. I would definitely say that I would see this movie again. I thought overall this movie was probably one of the most intense movies I've seen all year. I have never been more excited for a movie than this, and I actually wasn't planning on seeing this movie. I mean, I was a little bit, but then again, seeing it 2 times in one day, I thought it definitely got better by the second viewing, because I knew everything that was going to happen. I knew how much more excited I was going to be, so I really love this movie for that factor alone. I definitely can't wait for the next movie to come out. I am just even more excited, and well, actually, the last 2 movies, because the last Mockingjay is going to be split into 2 parts. Darn Hollywood. But I think it's going to be amazing. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Hunger Games Catching Fire. Were you a fan of the books before you saw the movie? Who is your favorite character in the entire movie? Always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come make a Virtual Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.